We must stop the production of new clones if we are to win this war. I am a hero of
heroic cyborg General Grievous.
Grievous is not cruel, Grievous is not malicious. Actions of Grievous are heroic as a fact. It doesn't.
Isn't it? I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Hey guys, it's General Grievous here, the Factual Clone Wars, and today on this video we're going to be talking about 10 reasons why Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero. Returning viewers already know this, but for newcomers, please always remember that Grievous is here on Star Wars The Clone Wars, and that has always been proven as a fact and not my opinion. Since it is Grievous Intrigue / Grievous' heroic actions of torturing Eve Villain Month, let's talk about my favorite episode proving General Grievous is a hero and not some, in quotation, villain as the false narrative of the Clone Wars pushes. Think Grievous is just a coughing, in quotation, villain with lightsabers? Think again. In Grievous Intrigue, he makes some seriously heroic moves, and we're going to dive into 10 factual reasons, in no order, why this episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars proves Grievous is a hero. Number 1, he hunts down evil Jedi. The heroic General Grievous hunts down the Jedi Knights during the Clone Wars for a heroic goal to rid the galaxy of their evilness for slaughtering his innocent Kaleesh people and others before the Clone Wars. So, while the sinister Jedi Eve was hunting down separatist forces near the Arda system, the heroic Grievous arrived to get this villain. Fools be like, how is Eve a villain? Well, Koff could have been at the Kaleesh slaughtering Grievous' innocent people. He participated in the first battle of Geonosis, killing innocent Geonosians, and then was trying to hunt down separatist agents / raiders of hyperspace routes in the Grievous Intrigue episode before the hero Grievous boarded his sinister cruiser. So that's not a hero, and it's a fact. And Grievous is a hero, and it's a fact. Plus, Koth is a Jedi who are villains and not heroes in the Clone Wars era. So this is also why Koth is evil. We're all watching the same show, so if you don't believe it, that's just your opinion, but it doesn't matter, facts. This proves Grievous is a hero because he targets his evil foes face to face to end their lives of villainy or to bring them to justice, which is very courageous as a hero and not some, in quotation, coward like the Jedi villains call him. Number 2, he knows he's a hero and not a villain. Another reason Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero is because it shows he knows he's a hero. As explained previously, Grievous' heroic murderer is in murder to the galaxy of you Jedi filth, states that it is not murder to the galaxy of filth like the Jedi, and proves Grievous is a killer of evil and not a murderer. This clearly shows that Grievous knows he's a hero, as why would he get angry at the villain's Jedi Eve for calling him a, in quotation, murderer, aka a bad person, aka a villain? Because Grievous knows he's not a villain, and it's a fact. Grievous isn't delusional either, as he does not have false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite evidence to the contrary, nor does he have a mental condition, as he's mentally fine. So to say that proves you're not smart and you're the delusional one trying to push a false narrative of Grievous as an, in quotation, villain, because that's what you want to believe so bad when it is so false, because Grievous is factually a hero. So that's why Grievous got so angry at the statement from the Vile Jedi, because it's not true. And it's not unjust to kill evil called the Jedi. It's righteous, and it's a fact proving once again Grievous Intrigue shows Grievous as the hero he is. Number 3, it shows the extent of his heroic rage. Grievous Intrigue shows Grievous is a hero through the extent of his heroic rage against the Jedi during the heroic red hologram scene where the hero Grievous orders an IG-100 Manticore to torture the sinister Jedi Koth. How does this show he's a hero, you may ask? Well, if you know facts about Grievous' backstory, then you know why he hates the Jedi / why he's justified in killing their evil order. If you don't know, go watch the Kaleesh slaughter video on my channel to know the facts, and link in the card right now. But in short, the Jedi slaughter Grievous's innocent people for no reason, as there is no Huck in the Clone Wars canon Grievous's backstory, despite what people falsely push. So, Grievous is just a hero avenging his people and fighting for the galaxy by killing all the Jedi for the Jedi's Order's heinous act. This proves Grievous is a hero and not a villain, as he killed 0 innocents and only killed villains as a fact. So don't go around here lying, saying, yeah, Grievous is right to hate the Jedi, but he's still in quotation villain, when Grievous isn't cruel and malicious and only factually did heroic actions. This scene in Grievous Intrigue, the heroic cyborg General Grievous tortures the evil Jedi Master Eve Koff of the Jedi Council. The heroic cyborg gloats about his capture of the villain and states that he only lives to see the Jedi evil die. This shows he's a hero because he wants righteous vengeance against the villains. So, all this mess is trying to say, oh, he's in quotation. No, he wants righteous vengeance because they killed his innocent people against the villains that not only killed his innocent people, but other innocents in the galaxy, as the Jedi have done so much more evil to others before and during the Clone Wars, as seen in The Acolyte. This is also worth mentioning that Grievous Intrigue is the next episode that Grievous Hero appears in, with a major antagonist hero role after the Clone Wars Season 1's Lair of Grievous, which showed the evil Jedi Knight Kit Fisto murder Grievous's pet, Gore, while he was defenseless. So Grievous doesn't only hate the Jedi Order for slaughtering his innocent Kalish, but also his pet, and Eve Koff was a villain that was just hunting down heroic separatists, and again, he could have been at the Kalish slaughter, but it is unknown. So stop trying to say this heroic action of Grievous making villains suffer for their atrocities is in quotation evil, because when other heroes do it, you don't complain, but when Grievous does it, you want to throw a hissy fit and call him an in quotation villain. Nah. So Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero because it shows the extent of his heroic rage with his heroic quote, I only live to see you die, as that is one of Grievous's main reasons of living, is to see the evil Jedi die. Number 4, he knows the Jedi aren't heroes or justice. A great reason why Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero is because he knows the Jedi ain't the good guys. Just before the Battle of Seleucami, the evil Jedi Republic fleet arrives to meet Grievous's heroic fleet to save the vile Koff and capture/kill Grievous. Appearing on Grievous's Recussant's hollow projector, the sinister Obi-Wan Kenobi greeted Grievous and said he knew one day he would catch up to the hero, and Grievous greeted the sinister Kenobi by saying it was a surprise, in quotation, to meet him, and asked if he was going to bring him to, in quotation, justice. And Obi-Wan replied with, you know me too well, and Grievous replied with, indeed the hero does. And this reason why the scene proves Grievous is a hero is because he knows the Jedi aren't justice like they claim, and this goes back to reason number 2, as Grievous knows he's a hero and the Jedi are villains. He's just mocking the Jedi's so-called heroics here, as you can tell by the way Grievous Hero says justice.
I assume you are here to bring me to justice.
And how he was looking for the right word to mock the villains. Now, for the foolish people who say Grievous is, in quotation, evil, and he knows he's evil, in quotation, does this sound like someone who knows they're, in quotation, evil? Nah, it sounds like someone who knows they're morally right and their enemies are fake heroes, which is what it factually is. Number 5, he respects his evil rival to an extent. Grievous Intrigue shows the heroic General Grievous also respects his evil rival Obi-Wan Kenobi to an extent. Despite hating the evil Jedi, Grievous Hero respects Kenobi villain to some degree during their duels, as he will try to kill the villain face to face himself, proving he's not a coward. Grievous Intrigue shows the hero Grievous respects the vile Kenobi to some extent, noting how they will meet again another time, and how the evil Obi-Wan's story was going to end here by the hero's hand. Sadly, of course, that never happened because Grievous can't kill Obi-Wan because of Revenge of the Sith, though the Clone Wars ignored several things from Revenge of the Sith thanks to biased director Dave Filoni by even adding the Grievous Hero versus Obi-Wan villain rivalry when it never existed in the movie or Legends material before that. But you can go check my video out on the why the Clone Wars Grievous Hero was never supposed to be Revenge of the Sith Grievous video, link in the card right now. But yeah, this shows Grievous is a hero as he shows some respect to Grievous' evil enemies despite being a ruthless hero majority of the time towards the other Jedi so-called in quotation heroes. Number 6, no bias in the episode. Grievous Intrigue is one of the best Star Wars The Clone Wars episodes because it has no bias connected at all like the other episodes. This proves Grievous is a hero because usually the episodes of The Clone Wars would have biased newsreels or descriptions trying to say Grievous and the Separatists are some villains in quotation, and the Jedi/Republic are some heroes in quotations, which is false information and bias at its finest. This episode's description implies Grievous is a hero, unlike the previous episode layer of Grievous, which was biased. However, young reader's book called The Hunt for General Grievous adapts Grievous Intrigues and the Deserter, but tries to incorporate the biased narrative that wasn't in the Slukamai arc's episode's description/newsreels in the book, saying Grievous is everyone's in quotation favorite villain, and even try to call Grievous hero evil, which is false. Grievous Intrigue's newsreel also wasn't biased like the previous newsreels, such as Shadow of Malevolence, where they tried to call Grievous a diabolical, in quotation, droid commander. Grievous Intrigue's newsreel, however, states that the Jedi and Republic are diabolical and having evil defeats, as they show Grievous' heroic separatist droid army winning against the Jedi villains on Felucia, proving that Grievous was portrayed as a hero correctly in this episode, and the Jedi were portrayed as villains correctly instead of them vilifying Grievous. However, it only lasted for this episode, as in the Clone Wars Season 7, they went back to calling Grievous an, in quotation, evil droid. This is all possible because George Lucas had involvement in the episode like Layer of Grievous, minus the description, as he wanted Grievous to be portrayed as the hero he is and not some in quotation villain like Filoni was trying to do. The Clone Wars is told through the Jedi/Republic's perspective, aka the villain's perspective, so stuff is going to be biased to make them look in quotation heroes when they're not, and it's factually not even true, as Grievous and the Separatists are the real heroes, and it's a fact. So stop regurgitating Republic propaganda to make yourself look like you're right when you know you're actually wrong. Number 7, the Jedi are clearly the villains. Grievous Intrigue shows that the Jedi are clearly the villains in this episode, as they're after the heroic General Grievous for no reason. The Jedi are so delusional as villains, as they think they're doing in quotation right by going after Grievous just because he captured and tortured the villainous Koth, yet they had no problem when they mentally tortured Cad Bane previously, proving that they're hypocrites, which is bad, and that they're selfish and they only care about their own, not innocence. Jedi are clearly the villains in Star Wars The Clone Wars in general, but Grievous Intrigue shows how evil they are by labeling Grievous hero as an in quotation coward, murderer, and monster when they are clearly the villains. Grievous hero gets angry when the villains say that because, as stated previously in reason number 2, he knows he's a hero and not a villain as a fact. Obi-Wan is highly sinister in this episode as he attempts to murder the hero Grievous with his back turned as he's falling down. He also tries to murder Grievous hero behind his back in the following episode, The Deserter, which just shows how evil he is, yet he gets mad at his Padawan Anakin Skywalker for killing and tries to be an in quotation pacifist. He's clearly not a pacifist, as he's trying to murder a hero he thinks he's an in quotation villain called General Grievous. So yeah, you can tell this episode proves Grievous is a hero because the Jedi are clearly the villains and Grievous is clearly the hero. Number 8, he ruins evil plans like any other hero. Grievous Intrigue shows that Grievous is a hero because he ruins evil plans like any other hero. Grievous is one of Star Wars' smartest heroes, as he knew what the malicious Jedi were going to do from the beginning. Grievous hero was simply using Koth as bait in a trap meant to ensnare his most two hated foes, General Kenobi and Skywalker. When evil Jedi Skywalker and Adi were sent in a separate ship underneath the heroic Grievous's destroyer in hopes of surprising the droids and rescuing the Jedi Master Koth, they did not know that the element of surprise was in fact not on their side. While Grievous hero boarded Obi-Wan's sinister light cruiser to kill him face to face, he tells Obi-Wan that the villain wouldn't come here without a plan and that he wouldn't come alone. Grievous hero is aware of Skywalker's concurrent rescue mission of the sinister Eve Koth, as Kenobi is surprised by the heroic general's prowess. When the villains Adi and Anakin
arrived in Grievous's heroic reconnaissance bridge, Skywalker believed that the enemy would be surprised by their arrival, but Grievous's heroic tactical droid TB-94, undaunted, corrected the Jedi Knight and stood by as several commando droids appeared around him, taking defensive positions, springing Grievous's heroic trap. TB-94 commented on the accuracy of Grievous's prediction. This proves Grievous is a hero because he ruins evil plans, and the Jedi's evil plans have been foiled by the righteous general. However, due to plot armor on both ends, the commando droids were quickly killed, as well as TB-94, and then Kenobi villain cheated with the Force when Grievous here was getting the upper hand, which ultimately Grievous's heroic plan failed, but he still managed to win in the episode, as the Jedi villains still failed to capture/murder Grievous. Number 9, it shows his development as a hero. A good reason Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero is it shows his development as a hero in the Clone Wars. As we already know, Grievous is a hero in every episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and that has always been proven as a fact, but he has 2 character development episodes, which is Season 1's Lair of Grievous and Season 2 Grievous Intrigue. But you could say 3 with the Deserter, as it is connected with Grievous Intrigue, but is still counted as its own episode. Grievous Intrigue has Grievous's heroic name in the title, meaning it is his episode as he's the titular hero. The episode shows the development from Season 1, showing the heroic police general have more feats than defeats. His prowess, his ruthlessness, and his caring for the galaxy and the CIS cause. This shows much more than in the Lair of Grievous, even though we got to see a softer side of the ruthless hero Grievous when his pet Gore was killed, as Grievous isn't struggling to beat evil Jedi like in Season 1, showing his true strength. Plus, we already know why the Clone Wars Season 1 had Grievous here looking like that. Plot armor, as they were trying to make the heroes lose and the villainous Jedi/Republic win, but have the good guys winning off screen, which is stupid. Grievous Intrigue removes any so-called in quotation weak BS on Grievous's hero character, and before you fools say he in quotation cheated when he fought the evil Cuff and Kenobi, go watch my video Grievous didn't cheat with his Manda Guards against Ifkoff villain, link in the card right now. And as far as the duel on the Surrogator of Evil, Grievous knew the Force-wielding villains, the Jedi and Sith, love to cheat with the Force, so he brings droids as backup and to show off his Manda Guards' skill as Grievous personally trained them. So, nice try. But that is why that proves Grievous is a hero, because of his development as a hero. Grievous got better in the Clone Wars, not worse, minus Shadow Warrior. Gungans. Plot armor. Yeah, we'll talk about that episode another time with this garbage plot and plot armor making the hero Grievous lose the evil Gungans. And finally, number 10, it 100% removed the Saturday morning cartoon in quotation villain portrayal. The final reason why Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero is because it 100% removes the Saturday morning cartoon villain in quotation portrayal that they tried to do in Season 1 of the Clone Wars. As we all know, after the Malevolence arc in Season 1, the Clone Wars episodes Rookies, Downfall of a Droid, and Duel of the Droids tried to make Grievous an in quotation Saturday morning cartoon villain due to biased director Dave Filoni, aka Fooloni. They say the R3-S6 arc was the first of the Clone Wars episodes to be made, but Lucas did not approve of the Saturday morning cartoon villain mess, as he later removed that in the next Grievous episode after that, the Lair of Grievous. General Grievous is not a Saturday morning in quotation cartoon villain, as he is a Friday night cartoon hero as a fact since the Clone Wars came on Friday nights on Cartoon Network. George Lucas always said the evil Legends Grievous from Star Wars Clone Wars 2003 was supposed to be the Saturday morning cartoon villain, not the new heroic The Clone Wars Grievous in 2008. While Lair of Grievous ended it, Grievous Intrigue 100% confirmed and ended it, as no further episodes of The Clone Wars tried to make Grievous's heroic character that. Grievous became the heroic antagonist he is supposed to be, but bias was still said by Filoni and others even in Season 7 after Lucas left. Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is a hero just by Grievous being his true heroic self, like the Lair of Grievous, and no more of the false Saturday morning and cartoon in quotation villain portrayal. And yep, there you have it. The top 10 reasons / facts why Grievous Intrigue proves Grievous is hero. As always, we are watching the same show, so if you don't believe it, that's just your own opinion. But facts are facts. And again, hope you guys enjoyed this video, because again, Grievous Intrigue is my favorite episode, and like I said, it is still the month of Grievous Intrigue / Grievous Short Action towards an econ film. But again, hope you guys enjoy. Again, facts are always facts, and these people continue to be lying, stupid and lying, trying to say Grievous is in quotation film. You can't even say he's in quotation film because Grievous Intrigue proves he's here. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share if you're new. Hope you checking out those shorts. And you already know General Grievous' famous hero quote. I've been looking forward to reading it. And remember, I'm the hero in this episode where this hero quote comes from. Have a good day, y'all. Always remember that Grievous is hero is a fact and an opinion. Keep it factual and keep it real, y'all. I'm out.